Anything want to be removed for separate discussion? All in favor? Aye. After the adoption of the consent agenda, we'll follow the item A, approve the minutes of October 12th, 2015 Committee of the Whole meeting, October 20th, 2015 regular board meeting, approval of financial report July 1st, 2015 through October 31st of 2015, and approve the bills for the period of October 1st through October 31st in the amount of $2,190,216.38.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Legislative update. Carrie?
Yep, we did have a legislative meeting yesterday, and I can tell you that all of the legislators did attend. Pretty much, they just threw some proposals for some bills out there that might go through. One with CPR, one with reporting crime rates, but probably the biggest conversation we had was with Senator Dewey Strobel about the limitations of referendums that might go out in a bill and might not. He was really just kind of asking and throwing some questions out to us and getting our opinion on that. So all in all, the Senate, Devin Lemahue did say that the Senate is done for the session, so they were done, and the Assembly had to leave because there was one bit of business they still had to get down to Madison to finish up with on Monday morning. So that's where we're at. I think that the referendum bill will probably be stalled now because the Senate is done, and it may come back next when they come back to session again. But at this point, I don't know. Tim, did you have any indication of that?
Well, right now, it is not even presented to the committee. It hasn't been presented to the chair, Senator Foss, of the Education Committee. It hasn't been presented to him. It hasn't been assigned to a chair, so it may just be something that's going into the future.
Okay.
And I thought it was a very good meeting. We had good discussions, and I think we continue to have them.
Yep. I'm real thrilled about the participation from our senators and assemblymen, and I was excited to see Senator Dewey Strobel there because it was the first time he came, and it was good to have everyone there and talking. So great.
Great discussion. So.
Excuse me. Tim and I attended a legislative advocacy seminar conference put on by the WASB about a week and a half ago. And they had a session with the Democratic and then the separate Republican legislators. And there were 4 Republican legislators there, including the chair of the education committees for both the Assembly and the Senate. And all 4 of them, those legislators, were against the referendum one. So it didn't sound like, even if that does get introduced, that it's going to go anywhere.
That's kind of what we're hearing too.
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
bit. Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Richard.
And then community engagement. Todd?
Yeah, we have with us tonight Lori Brown, third grade teacher at Horizon Elementary School, and she wanted to recognize an outstanding volunteer that we have at Horizon School, affectionately known as Grandpa Bob. So I'll turn it over to Lori.
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to bring before you Mr. Robert Blonke. I know, he can't take that when I call him by anything formal, but he is a really accomplished member of the community of Plymouth, and more specifically, he's made a big difference, and he continues to make a big difference here in our school district to this very day. At one time, Bob sat where all of you are sitting as a member of the Board of Education, and he contributed to so many initiatives that got started in Plymouth during his 10-year membership to the board, and most of these initiatives are still in place today. For example, he hired 2 of our superintendents. He is responsible for creating the position you now hold, the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction. Yep. The all-day kindergarten program was started during Bob's time on the board, and there were some additions made to some of the schools, Fairview, Parkview, and Riverview, and he had a hand in those as well. He also had a desire to go to class, and he was one of the few board members 10 years ago that took time to go to class with the kids and question them about what they were learning and spend time just being in the trench, finding out what education really, really looks like. So to this day, this gentleman, Bob, or as Todd said, the kids, they call him Grandpa Bob, he continues to go to classes with us in the Plymouth School District, specifically at Horizon School. He's a reading volunteer for us in 3rd grade and in 4th grade. He comes religiously every week, no fail, for an hour at a time, twice a week, once 3rd grade, once 4th grade, just to listen to kids read. And, you know, it really goes a little bit beyond listening because he reads with them, doesn't just listen to them, and then he engages them in all kinds of conversations. And so the line to read with Grandpa Bob is a long one, and some children even have to wait a week to get their turn to be sitting next to him out at the table in the hallway. So he's loved by the children, and we just love having him at school. He also has done us a big favor by participating in the Pen Pal program that our 3rd grade has in conjunction with the Intergenerational Center. His letters are engaging. In fact, I read a letter that he sent just today, and I found out, Bob, that you are a track star and a football player, went to state and high school. I learned all this today. The fun never ends with this guy. So I'm telling you, he's fun and engaging, and the kids love him. His letters often have like ongoing games of tic-tac-toe, where every month, you know, you put in your next X or your next O. And so his interest in that is alive and well. And last year's Pen Pal, he even took time to go to summer softball games and go to the fair and watch this child show her goats or sheep or whatever they were. So I enjoy having him volunteer with us, and his history with our district is long and tender, and I guess he is just a man with a heart that keeps on giving and giving and giving. He's a very selfless man, and so I just wanted to acknowledge him tonight and let you know how helpful he is to us and to the children in the school district. He'd like to know if he needs to respond.
We would love to have you respond.
Yes.
You want to speak?
Yeah, you certainly would.
Would you like to speak?
Well, certainly.
Okay.
I don't miss this opportunity.
All right, hit it.
It's a long time ago that I sat on that board. But one of my accomplishments, as Laurie said, I fought for 2 years with Eldon Amundson and the rest of the board for this district to hire a reading specialist. And you know what? That now has come full circle, because I have found out recently she is a certified reading specialist. So it was worthwhile 35 years ago, Laurie.
And we all are, Bob. Thanks to you.
And serving on the school board for me was a real pleasure. There are lots of ups and downs, as you all know. One of the downs is sitting through suspension hearings. I hated it with a passion. And some of the ups are, I stood on that stage, addressed the class twice, gave my daughters their diploma.
Pretty sweet.
That was pretty sweet. And one more time, Fred Kaufman, if any of you know the name, Fred and I were the negotiating committee. Fred and I, one night, with 2 teachers, over a case of beer, we did a contract. That was one way to get it done. And I'll tell you, I got to know Laurie through her husband, Fred Brown, over at Generations, because I go to his exercises class. And after I met Laurie, she kind of twisted my arm to come to the classroom. But I love every minute of it, and it makes me feel worthwhile. So I think I've done this community pretty good. Thank you.
I just want to comment to thank you, Mr. Blanky, and also Horizon teachers and administration for really showing us what community engagement is all about and how we connect and make those connections for our kids. Thanks.
One more thing. When I walk into one of those 4 classrooms, all I take is one step in that doorway, and they're all screaming, "Grandpa Bob!"
Very good.
That's cool.
And it's real easy to tell when I sit and read with them. For somehow, some way, somehow, I can always pick out the child that's from a one-parent family. It just comes through to me. I don't know how I do it, but, so later on I'll ask Lori, is that a one-parent child? And she will tell me yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. On our board organization, Bob has resigned, and we will be electing a vice president. Now, normally we seek, people who nominate this person or nominate that person, but we only had one person stand up and really want the job. So we have Pam, who has volunteered to become the vice president until the end of the term. And if there are no objections, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Don't we need to make a
I
motion
think
first?
we do have to make a motion.
Well, I thought the
Yeah.
president appoints it, that's how we did it last time.
Oh.
So that's, but we'll go ahead and make a motion.
Yeah, that would be fine. I think we should make a motion.
I make a motion that Pam be appointed or elected as the vice president of the school board.
I second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Pam.
You're welcome.
Consider gifts and correspondence. Carrie?
Yep. Tonight, under Finance, Buildings, and Grounds, we just have some gifts that we would like to accept and absolutely appreciate. First of all, a donation of $297.89 from Horizon Path for student transportation, a donation of $1,928.29 from Parkview PTK for a smart board and student transportation, a donation of $240 from Pam Holzheiser to the Plymouth High School Art Department, a donation of $150 from Jan Dries for the high school learning service, 2 cases of cheese from Sartori Cheese to our food service department. It's recommended that we accept these gifts and their corresponding adjustments.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. No period of public participation, no one saying.
Excuse me, Tim, can we go back to the board organization number 6? Pam has been our treasurer. Can she be both the vice president and the treasurer, or do we need to select a treasurer now?
I think we would need to select, that's a good point, Richard. I think we would need to select a treasurer. Yep.
Okay. I nominate Richard
Nope.
York. Is there a second?
But this term, well, that position would be until the spring.
Right. But until May 2016. And then in May of 2016, we would re-elect officers again.
So is there something on the book saying that you cannot hold 2 positions, though?
I don't believe so.
Even if you wanted to, I think you need to post.
Yeah, I think we would need to post and make sure, so.
You can roll with it.
Yeah, and what we can do is we can put the treasurer's position on the board to be voted for next time.
Okay.
That's perfectly fine.
Sounds good.
Good, thank you for catching that, Richard.
Board liaison reports, community ed. Richard?
There's always exciting things happening in community education. Right now, the month of December, on some Sundays, you can play pickleball and badminton. They have 4 courts of each at the Riverview School, and pickleball is just an activity that I keep hearing more and more about. It seems to have really caught on. Of course, all of us are familiar with badminton, but they're working on, coming out soon with the next slate of classes and opportunities. So be looking for that probably very soon, I would think by early December. So that's what's happening in community ed.
Great.
Foundation, Bob?
Foundation, a few notes here. We will have our annual meeting coming up on January 13th, in which we will elect new officers and welcome new board members. Regarding board members, John Miller, not that John Miller, but a John Miller with Muelleer. He's leaving the foundation board. He's been there for 9 years. He served as our treasurer. Excellent service to the board, and he will be missed. So, but we really appreciate the work he did for us. Finally, the foundation, the grants, just an update there. We will be awarding $10,000 in grants in May. If you're interested, we have monthly informational meetings. The next one is November 18th, which is tomorrow, right? 6:30 in the boardroom here at PHS. Good place to come and find out more if you're a student or a community member and you'd like to understand how the grants will work with the foundation. That's a place to go. A deadline for applying for the grants this year will be February 5th. So more information at the PlymouthFoundation.org website. And that's it for the foundation.
Thank you, Bob. Family Resource Center, Pam?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on the Born to Succeed program that Family Resource Center is partnering with United Way. And we're piloting the program here in Plymouth with the Plymouth School District and other community partners. And the goal of Born to Succeed is to ensure that every child is school ready. It's a school readiness program. And our ultimate goal is to have every child at birth receive a welcome packet at the hospital, so family members and parents know what resources are available, and also to have every child at birth receive a parent-educator visit. And in these visits, the parent-educator would kind of do a family assessment, get to know them, and at the very least, those families would know what to do if they ever need assistance with parenting or family issues. That would be the very least, with the ultimate goal of those parent-educators giving community development assessments and awareness of those child. So if they are at risk, we can give them the full service of a parent educator and ensure their success before school. And part of that with the Family Resource Center is getting together with hospitals, health clinics, HR departments, businesses, schools, daycares, all the players in our community to come together. And with that, every child entering school would be ready to succeed and not be behind by the time, at the start. So it's a worthwhile project. We're piloting this in Plymouth, so keep your eyes and ears open, and that's the excitement there. One more thing. With that, we are looking for a parent educator. We're looking to hire someone 25 hours a week. So if you are interested, or if you know of anyone who's interested in being a parent educator, give Luann a call over at the Family Resource Center, which is 920-892-6706. So it's a great program. Thank you.
And do you have any qualifications you're looking for the parent educator?
They're looking for someone who has a bachelor's in early childhood or social work, that type of background, or something similar. And if you obviously can get along with people, keep track of records, assessments, and those types of things. There's a full description on our website as well of the qualifications. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Pam.
And
Thank you to the United Way for helping us.
Yeah, it's great. It's
Yeah.
really exciting.
Professional Development Council, Sally?
With the change in the way that teachers are getting together, instead of doing it once a month now, it's on a different rotation, so they are not meeting in the month of November. They will meet in December. That doesn't mean that the teachers are sitting on their hands, though. They're constantly meeting, even in the smaller groups, for the schools, each school individually. So we'll have an update next month.
Thank you, Sally. And moving on, we have personnel, and we have support staff update?
Yep, tonight, we have Lori Stino, Plymouth High School Special Education Teacher Aide, who has submitted her retirement to be effective on January 1st, 2016. We also have Donna Oleg, who has been hired to serve as Horizon Elementary School Secretary. Cheryl Rivas has been hired as custodian at the Riverview Middle School, and Bradley Feldman has been hired as custodian at Fairview Elementary School. And I do want to say that Lori Stino has 26 years in the Plymouth School District. So thank you very much for all of her service.
Thank you. And we have a request for travel, so we'll be considering a request from, well, go ahead.
Right, tonight we do have a request for travel from Profe Romy Herrera, and it is for the Plymouth High School World Language Club students, the juniors and the seniors. They will be traveling to Costa Rica July 14th through August 6th, 2016, and it will include the juniors and seniors who are currently enrolled in the Spanish program, and they will travel for a Spanish immersion trip from July 14th to July 23rd, excluding 10 seniors who will stay in Costa Rica and attend a 2-week Spanish language class, allowing them to earn a half a credit in Spanish. So we are approving both trips at the same time because it really is one, but most of them will be coming back with the 10 remaining. The students are paying for their own trip. This does fall under our policy requirements because it's during the summer. I have also checked the students that are staying will have 2 teachers that will be down there yet with them to remain down there. So we have the, I think, sufficient amount of coverage. And so I would recommend that we approve this trip.
I'll make a motion to approve both trips.
I'll second it.
Have they gone to Costa Rica before?
Yes.
They have, yes.
They went last year. Now they've been going almost every year. Last year they went as well.
They are going to be going every other year after this year. So that's what Profe had said to me. So.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you. We have nothing on the consent agenda, and the President's report. The Plymouth School Board is seeking to fill a vacancy of John Clementi, resignation. Anyone interested should submit a letter of interest to the President, to me, Tim St. Clair, President of the School Board, and sent to the district office. Candidates will attend the Committee of the Whole meeting on Monday, December 7th, 2015 at 5 p.m. Each candidate will be allowed to introduce themselves to the board. Deliberation with possible voting will take place at this meeting. If tabled, the voting will take place at the Tuesday, December 15th meeting of the Board of Education. A new board member will be sworn in on January 19th, and the Board of Education meeting will take their seat on February 8th, Committee of the Whole meeting. Candidates must live within the city limits and inside the district boundaries.
And this position will need to be one that is elected for the following year.
Thank you. This position will be up for election this year. So if there's any other information is required, please contact the district's offices, and they'll send it out to you. And to follow up on the President's report, as Richard was talking, we had an opportunity to go to Wisconsin Association of Business School Board Advocacy meeting, and it was very interesting. Richard and I learned quite a bit that night and that day, and we saw the legislatures, Democratic and Republicans. They chose not to put them together, so we had separate meetings, one in the morning and one in the evening. There's very, very much dissension between the two groups, but both of them have good hearts. They really want to do what's best for the educational system of the state. So we anticipate to have more contacts with these people, and I am going to contact Senator Foss. I've got some information that I want to give him about revenue limits. So, and that's the end of my report.
Thank you, and thank you, Tim and Richard, for putting your time in and representing us well. For the superintendent's report tonight, we do have a lot of accomplishments since we're about, one-third through our school year here. In FFA, we had Michaela Klumpian, Vicki Payne, Catherine Schell, Grace Schumacher, and not to mention also to mention their coach Cheryl Unke, who won recognition as the top horse evaluation team in the nation at the National FFA Convention last month. It was quite an honor. It was, even having people go to the National Convention is an honor, and then they won top in the nation. So congratulations to their teachers also, Wally Taylor and Tracy Heinrich. We also had a PHS graduate there, Stephanie Thiel, who was named FFA National Winner in the Food Science and Technology area. So again, tribute to Tracy and Wally and the work that they did with Stephanie throughout the years. We did have 3 state qualifiers for our girls swim team. Savannah Arnson and Sydney Culk both advanced to the state meet to compete in diving, and Anna Thiessen represented Plymouth High School in state for the 200 and 500-yard freestyle races. Riverview Middle School play was outstanding. I'm not sure if everyone here was able to attend, but it was wonderful, and I want to congratulate and say thank you to Rachel Trempe and Sarah Path for their direction of the play, and also to all the students, staff, and parents who contributed to its success. Our Plymouth One Act play will once again head to state on Friday. That's very exciting. And the girls cross country team competed at the state competition on October 31st. They took 9th in state, and Sophie Bullock placed 15th overall. So congratulations to our cross country team and to Sophie. It's quite an accomplishment. The girls also won the sectional title for cross country. This is the 14th consecutive season that our Plymouth High School football team has qualified for playoffs. And our soccer team won the East Central Conference Championship. So congratulations to all of our sports teams as we really do wind up our fall season and start going into our winter season. We did have a math contest for the first time at Riverview Middle School, actually. Jessica Barrington and Billy Rao, 2 teachers at our middle school, took some students to the Lakeland competition in math. And I want to just share that the students who participated were Alicia Nugent, Catherine Rauscher, John Nugent, Kyle Kraus, Alex Addy, Jacob Ashworth, Dylan Ernst, Matt Sheridan, Lucas Rohrbeck, Zach Stuckey, Reed Gahagan, Ansel Olson, Ryan Kraus, Nicholas Bastian, Max Luddington, and Nick Zerkowick. So I was asked to read those names and congratulate them for being our first ever math computers at the Lakeland Conference in our middle school. As far as our dates to remember go, we do have November 16th, legislative breakfast. We have, I'm sorry, that already happened. We have November 25th through the 27th, Thanksgiving break. December 2nd is the area negotiators meeting here at the, Plymouth High School at 6 o'clock. December 7th is the policy meeting, 3:30 in the boardroom. Also at December 7th, we have our Committee of the Whole meeting at 5 p.m. And that's really important for us to put that on our calendar because it is the first Monday of the month, because it's a month where the second Monday and the third Tuesday are right next to each other. So always move then the Committee of the Whole meeting to the first Monday of the month, which is December 7th. And December 15th is our next Board of Education meeting. And I do want to announce that the upcoming state convention hosted by WASB and WASDA will be January 20th through the 22nd this year. I will pass this around. We do need to know if there's anyone who would like to attend so that Annette can get the early bird registration in. Tim and Richard, they have attended the legislative meeting, and I know that Tim has been working with some of the resolutions that have been handed out at our last meeting, and we will have to go over those resolutions, so if you can take some time to take a look at them, it would be great. And then in December, we should appoint our delegate again. In the past, it's been Sally, so we do have to think about if we want Sally, and if Sally would like to continue to be our delegate. So that's an upcoming thing that we should start to think about. That's really all I have tonight, Tim.
And one more thing before closing, this board would like to wish and hope that everybody have a happy Thanksgiving and a blessed one.
Yes.
I need a motion to adjourn in the closed session under 19.81, paragraph 1 of the Wisconsin State Statutes to consider individual compensation of employment, promotion, performance.